Now on Good Day, some progress against those deadly wildfires in California. We'll tell you about the help from Nevada on the front lines right now.
Plus, a new poll shows tight races for senator and governor in Nevada. We'll break down those numbers.
And a first-of-its-kind deal between a pro sports league and a local casino. How MGM and the NBA are going to help each other.
8 News Now Good Day, the Valley's news leader, starts right now.
Now, live, this is 8 News Now Good Day.
It is 4 o'clock. It is Wednesday morning. Thank you very much for joining us here on Good Day. I'm John Langler.
And I'm Nia Wong. Kirsten Joyce has the week off.
All right, let's get some cooler temperatures here in southern Nevada. We've had the heat, we've had the mugginess around the valley, but it's time for some clearing of all that
Hopefully
nonsense.
Sherry has some good news for us.
Hopefully, I don't know. I kind of set the bar pretty high.
It's August. Do you really think things are going to change all that much?
I thought the new month would be like a new change, a fresh start.
New month. Let's get something new in here. Okay, so another day looking for thunderstorms. Another day with heat and not as much humidity, so maybe that's a good sign. And it looks like the weekend actually will be a little bit drier, so there are some changes coming. I'm afraid they won't be a whole lot cooler, at least for the first few days of the month. So we were on the lookout for monsoon thunderstorms again, and we saw a good flare up in the mountains yesterday. Actually, was not a very active day, so last day of July kind of uneventful. And as we look ahead, we are still looking for about a 20% chance of some isolated thunderstorms. So in the mountains, probably the best chance, and then they could pop up in other places around the valley in Clark County. We will be hot. We'll be still somewhat humid. Not going to dry out yet. We'll be up to about 100 degrees early afternoon, 107 for your afternoon high. And then we'll take a look at your weekend. Looks a little clearer as we head into your Saturday and Sunday. 4:01. Let's say good morning to Nate. See what it's out there in the early. I wanted to say pre-dawn hours. I guess it's still pre-dawn.
Technically, you are correct. Absolutely. Good morning, Sherry. Good morning. We do have some Project Neon work you need to be aware of. Once again, no access to MLK from the North 95 or the North 15. They are taking away some lanes for you, and it's a bigger stretch on the South 15 from Charleston all the way down to Flamingo. Northbound, you're restricted from Spring Mountain up to Okie, and Okie is closed underneath the I-15. And here's why. They're working on that new I-15 bridge. Also, a report of a crash on the 95 southbound into the Spaghetti Bowl to go north on the 15. Don't see that just yet. We'll keep an eye out for it. John, Nia.
Thank you, Nate. Developing overnight, the likely remains of dozens of American war dead begin their journey home decades after the end of the Korean War. A somber repatriation ceremony for the remains were held overnight at an air base in South Korea. They'll be flown to Hawaii to find out who they are. In California, better weather today is helping firefighters on the front lines of more than a dozen wildfires.
In Redding, the Carr Fire, the deadliest of those fires happening. It's now one of the most destructive in California history. It's burned an area larger than the city of Denver and destroyed more than 900 homes. Nearly 3,000 people, including the National Guard, are battling the flames in triple-digit heat. Near Yosemite National Park, the Ferguson fire still burning out of control 19 days after it started. Parts of Yosemite will stay closed at least until Sunday.
16 soldiers from the Nevada National Guard are helping the California firefighting effort. They're using two types of helicopters, a UH-60 Blackhawk and a CH-47 Chinook. They're used to drop buckets of water on the flames.
Currently, 17 personnel is part of that package supporting both those aircraft, including the air crews. As far as preparation, every year the Nevada National Guard goes through a series of training events to prepare for wildfires.
California and Nevada National Guards have an agreement to share assets even without an emergency declaration.
Friends and family are remembering a beloved local pastor killed in a tragic accident in Alaska. 50-year-old Stephen Willis was pastor of First Christian Church of Disciples of Christ near Springs Preserve. He also served as a chaplain with Metro Police and responded on 1 October. Willis died Monday when a commercial canoe capsized in a river. 9 other people were rescued from that accident. In addition to his work as pastor, Willis worked closely with the Miracle League of Las Vegas. That brings adults and special needs children together to play baseball.
Metro Police are looking for the thieves who robbed a local sports store. It happened at First and Gold near Tropicana and Fort Apache last night. The owner says the crooks ran out of the store with more than $1,000 worth of jerseys. They took off in a black vehicle with a Nevada plate 222B15. If you have any information, you're urged to call Crime Stoppers. A Las Vegas woman has a warning for anyone who uses local parks. She shared her experience on the Nextdoor app, telling neighbors someone followed her at night at a park in Summerlin. Shakayla Alvarenga looks at how local women are protecting themselves.
I basically just walk the trails, jog up and down the hills, try to get a little cardio in, and I wait because the sun is too hot.
On an ordinary night at Willows Park, you'll see people walking their dogs, running, some riding their bikes.
And the issue is that whether they're running around their block that they think is a safe neighborhood or going to their local gym where they have a membership, anytime that it's later at night, it's going to be a little bit more dangerous. Your mom probably told you, okay, if anybody comes near you, put your keys in between your hands.
Allison Campbell has been teaching self-defense in Las Vegas for the past 4 years.
It's just important that you're able to protect yourself and your family.
She talked to us tonight about the dangers of going out when the sun goes down.
Tool, because it's got so many things. It even has a flashlight, so if you are running at night, you've got a flashlight built into this. You'll be able to stab.
Campbell recommends carrying something to protect yourself. A taser or pepper spray. Deanna Clary agrees, and she does.
I do carry stuff like mace and taser and stuff like that just in case.
When it comes to crime, criminals tend to steer towards women because they think of them as a soft target.
And Campbell hopes everyone will take those basic precautions to be safe.
Just every once in a while, take a check back, make sure that nobody is following you. When you start running forward, make sure that you're scanning your area.
Shakayla Alvarenga, 8 News Now.
It's also advised to walk or run with somebody else and to leave those headphones at home.
Today, we should get a better idea of how Wynn Resorts has weathered the scandal that ousted former CEO Steve Wynn. The company releases its second quarter earnings today after the closing bell. Wynn Resorts has been on a bit of a hot streak, actually, beating Wall Street estimates in each of the past 4 quarters. Analysts expect a good second quarter for Wynn, thanks in large part to gaming operations in China. Wall Street also expects good news when Caesars Entertainment shares second quarter numbers today. Analysts predict earnings of about $2.1 billion for the quarter. That would be a 110% increase from the same quarter last year.
6 people who voted twice in the primary election last month will not be charged. Each person was interviewed by the Secretary of State's office, which found that none of them realized they had voted twice in the same election. The Secretary of State says Nevada's voting systems are designed to prevent this kind of scenario, but poll workers didn't follow the proper procedures to stop it around this time. And a new poll shows a very tight race in 2 of Nevada's most watched elections this November. The Reno Gazette-Journal found Republican incumbent Senator Dean Heller with a slight 41-40 edge over his Democrat challenger Jackie Rosen. But undecided voters are still at 9%. The poll found another close race for governor. Republican Adam Laxalt and Democrat Steve Sisolak were in a virtual tie at 41% in the polls.
4:08 right now. Gone are the days of professional sports leagues pretending sports betting didn't exist. Yesterday, the NBA announced a new partnership with MGM Resorts. The partnership is the first of its kind for a major sports league in the U.S. As part of the agreement, MGM Resorts will use highlights, logos, names, and data on a non-exclusive basis across all MGM sports books across the U.S.
Sports betting has been legal in the state of Nevada for almost 70 years. So there's an enormous amount of regulatory experience there on how to deal with sports leagues and how to deal with bettors. And for us, I know the way Jim and I both approach this would be that it would be a learning experience.
We could provide the gaming customer with that critical data that they need in order to make their best decisions possible. We can increase the fan experience to the benefit of the league and to the global customer that loves the NBA.
Other casinos can still take bets, and the NBA can still make other gaming companies. Casino operators are moving to capitalize after the Supreme Court decision earlier this year, in May actually, to allow sports betting nationwide.
Well, time is now 4:09, and we've got an incredible story of survival developing out of Mexico.
Next on 8 News Now, a plane goes down, bursts into flames, but everyone on board got out. We'll tell you about their story of survival.
Plus, why plans for untraceable 3D printed guns will not hit the internet today as expected.
You're watching the Valley's news leader with Kirsten Joyce, John Langler, Sherry Swinsk, and Nate Tannenbaum. This is 8 News Now. Good day.
A parking garage near Dallas remains off limits after parts of it collapsed. Nobody was hurt when 2 sections of the garage gave way yesterday. More than 30 vehicles were damaged.
An amazing story of survival from northern Mexico. A commuter jet crashed yesterday. All 103 people on board survived. The plane went down during a powerful storm, breaking apart and bursting into flames. Officials say everyone is accounted for and many passengers were able to walk away, but about half were hospitalized, some with severe injuries. Aeromexico Airlines says the plane was 10 years old and it had a good maintenance record. Nia?
Today was supposed to be the first day anyone could download blueprints to make untraceable, undetectable 3D printed guns, but a federal judge in Seattle put a stop to that. A Texas-based company had reached a settlement with the federal government back in June to distribute plans for those guns. Both sides will be back in court next week.
It is the second day in the tax and bank fraud scandal of President Trump's former campaign chairman, Paul Manafort. Manafort faces 18 charges stemming from his time as a political consultant in Ukraine before he worked with then-candidate Trump's campaign. Yesterday, prosecutors claimed Manafort funneled tens of millions of dollars through offshore accounts. Manafort's lawyer says there is no evidence he ever intended to deceive the IRS.
Time is now 4:13, and coming up next, new video showing the power of monsoons.
Plus, the new project bringing water and jobs to a part of the valley primed for major development. You're watching the Valley's news leader.
You're watching the Valley's news leader with Kirsten Joyce, John Langler, Sherry Swinsk, and Nate Tannenbaum. This is 8 News Now. Good day.
4:16 on your Wednesday morning. Take a look at this incredible video showing here the strength of the storms, monsoon storms in Phoenix.
Oh, they do.
This is Monday night at Deer Valley Airport. You can see the wind actually picking up and moving the tail sections of some of those small airplanes. Winds gusts topped 75 miles an hour. The storm also knocked out power, uprooted some trees in the area as well. It's not just here in Las Vegas.
Powerful.
It is.
Yeah.
It's not just here in Las Vegas. We've had some of those winds and storms come through, but obviously Phoenix has had that as well.
Yeah. Hopefully none of that this week, right?
No, in fact, you know, I think we're kind of on the tail end of the storms this week, which is good.
Well, you always
for
talk about
us.
how the sky can get tired, right? The atmosphere can get tired when it's storming, and we've had a lot of storms.
Yeah, and it was kind of wrung out yesterday, and I think that's why it was so quiet. I mean, it was so super muggy, and it was, you know, it was just really hazy. It was a kind of combination of smoke, elevated ozone. It wasn't our prettiest day yesterday, for sure. Now we've got some northerly winds out there this morning, and these are some outflow winds from some passing showers to the north of us up into Lincoln County. They're dissipating, they're weakening, they're passing by. I'll show you those on the radar coming up. But they have provided some breezy winds for us all the way down here into Clark County this morning. Or I always say, I guess it is this morning, but it always feels like we're still in the middle of the night. We are. 94 degrees. It is warm, so the trade-off of a little less humidity, but for more heat this morning, doesn't feel all that much better. It's 94 with 52 is the dew point, 24 the humidity. So the humidity and the moisture in the air is down, but we're still pretty darn hot. Lots of rain invading the East Coast again. It's all coming up from the Gulf of Mexico and being drawn up into the eastern third of the country. So a lot more rain for areas like Washington, Philly, New York, and those areas that were just drenched for a week all last week. So here are those passing showers. As I said, they weren't too heavy. There was a few lightning strikes, but for the most part, they are weakening and moving on. For us, we'll look for those showers to develop with thunderstorms in the mountains again, like we saw kind of a small explosion in the mountains yesterday, but the rest of the valley was really just pretty quiet. We'll stay hot though and somewhat humid, and still looking for about a 20% chance of some isolated thunderstorms today. So they'll still be around. Then we'll get a drier westerly influence starting later tomorrow into Friday. And welcome to August. The heat doesn't go away, but we do get a break from the monsoon, and it looks like less humidity, good sunshine for the weekend, but staying hot. Next week will be closer to normal. 4:19, let's get on the roads with Nate, checking in on the commute.
It is the middle of the night, Sherry.
It is.
But it is also morning. It's both. And Project Neon does have some things you need to be aware of, as they have done frequently. You cannot get to MLK from the North 95 or the North 15. And driving on the 15, you got to watch out. They are squeezing it down a little bit more during the overnight hours. Southbound from Charleston all the way down to Flamingo. Coming back the other way, you're squeezed down Spring Mountain up to Oakey. By the way, Oakey is closed underneath the I-15, and here's why. This eventually will be all part of the bridge structure over Oakey. That's Oakey underneath, and it is closed so they can do this work here. There's the southbound side of the 15 moving through pretty nicely. And we take a look at the eastbound 95, southbound actually heading for the Spaghetti Bowl. That is doing just fine. Not even a whole lot of yellow or red, maybe some slowing for a couple of folks getting off the northbound 95 there at Rancho. John, Nia?
Thank you, Nate. Businesses in our valley need water to survive.
Most of us do, actually, but a new 12-mile pipeline in the works should be a major boost to industry in North Las Vegas. As Patrick Walker shows us, it's been a long road to get to this point.
1, 2, 3. The solution to a decades-old problem is a pipe. For nearly 30 years, North Las Vegas has been looking for a way to get enough water out to the Apex Industrial Park to spur development. But with no big customers on the other end, it hasn't been worth the time and money to build it.
So really solving that chicken and egg problem of bringing utilities out before there's businesses, and it has been what we've been trying to solve out here.
The nearly $50 million solution, a long pipeline tapping into North Las Vegas's water system.
Just about right here where we stand, there's a large 36-inch pipe that has a big cap on the end of it with a whole bunch of bolts. And it just ends there.
The pipeline starts out here northwest of the Speedway and runs 12 miles out to Apex, where it will provide water to this otherwise dry part of the industrial park.
Remember the Faraday Future Project? For North Las Vegas, it was a way to get infrastructure improvements underway to make Apex more attractive to other large industries. Though Faraday failed, improvements like the widening of US 93 are underway. But the water problem still hadn't been solved. That is until Weston Adams stepped in.
And we decided to join forces and build this water line, and we're super excited about it.
Adams planned to spend more than $6 million to run a water line out to a large piece of property his company bought at Miners Mesa. North Las Vegas asked him to make it larger, and they're paying the remaining $42 million to run the pipe out to Apex. The result, a chance to get that money back and then some by expanding the tax base.
The revenue, the tax base, those are very important things for schools, for the state of Nevada, and for the residents of North Las Vegas.
Patrick Walker, 8 News Now.
Work on the pipeline is scheduled to be finished by 2020. The city projects some 20,000 jobs could be housed at Apex once it's all built out.
Coming up on the Valley's News Leader, an 80s pop icon is out with new music for the first time in 20 years.
And the big honor coming for Strip headliner Jennifer Lopez at the MTV Video Music Awards.
Vamos, 588-4800.
You're watching 8 News Now. Good day.
The Michael Jackson estate is about to get a whole lot richer.
Sony revealed it's paying $288 million for the estate's share of EMI Music Publishing. EMI owns a lot of music, the rights to songs from artists like Kanye West, Alicia Keys, among many, many others. The full acquisition still has to be approved, though, by government regulators.
Jennifer Lopez will receive the Michael Jackson Video Vanguard Award at this year's MTV Video Awards. She'll join the ranks of Madonna and Beyonce. J.Lo also up for 2 other awards and will perform for the first time since 2001 on the show when it airs on the 20th.
Love is revolution. War and famine too.
So I believe that is new music from Boy George and Culture Club. They reunited. Let Somebody Love You is the first single from their first new album in nearly 2 decades. It's due out at the end of October. Going back to the 80s.
Sound.
You know, they keep bringing back now a lot of 80s sitcoms and movies and putting them out again. But it's good when these 80s bands come out too. It just kind of brings back old memories of listening to Boy George and the Culture Club riding the school bus to school. There it is, Karma Chameleon. I knew it was coming. I just was waiting for the cue. Can't do Boy George story without it.
We'll be right back.
By St. Rose Integrative Medical Center.
Good morning. Now on Good Day, Sherry is tracking another chance of thunderstorms here on the first day of August, but some slightly cooler weather next week. We'll explain.
Plus, crews make progress against deadly wildfires. We've got the latest from California.
And the unique way a local artist is capturing some stories from 1 October, helping victims and survivors.
8 News Now Good Day, the Valley's news leader, starts right now.
Now, live. This is 8 News Now, Good Day.
Good morning. I'm Nia Wong, in for Kirsten Joyce.
I'm John Langler, in for myself. It is 4:30. It is Wednesday morning, and it's the first day of August. So July gone, summer quickly vanishing. School starts in a couple of weeks.
Oh.
Just like that, all of a sudden, it's gone. Sherry's here with a look at the forecast on the first day of August. Good morning to you, Sherry.
Good morning, John. I always love it when you fill in for yourself. Nobody can do it like you do. Nobody can do you like you do.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Happy Wednesday. It's hump day. Nobody said that yet. All right, we are making it to the middle of the week, and hello August. Yeah, I don't know about you. Happy to see July go bye-bye. It was a hot, sticky, active month. Now, we always need the rain, but it seemed like this one just came with a lot of wind damage and other calamities that we just didn't need. Lots of low Low 90s, upper 80s. Humidity still 25-30%. Passing showers to the north up into Nye and Lincoln counties overnight. But for us, we're just beginning some northerly breezes. We'll see some clouds around and possibly some isolated thunderstorms today. Look to the mountains first. Maybe some thunderstorms popping up around the valley, and hot at 107 or 8. On to the roads. Let's check in with Nate for an early commute.
Yes, it is early, and the commute continues, and that includes overnight work from Project Neon. There are some ramp restrictions. You cannot get to MLK from either the North 95 or the North 15. And heads up, they are squeezing down even more on the South 15. It stretches from Charleston all the way down to Flamingo. Northbound, you're squeezed from Spring Mountain up to Oakey, and Oakey is closed underneath the I-15 because they're working on that bridge there. Now we're looking at westbound 215 coming off the 15, bottom of your screen, up towards Decatur. Eastbound, there was a report of a crash on the 215 to the 15. If that's the case, it's not affecting the eastbound ride. John, Nia?
All right, Nate, thank you very much. So better weather today is helping thousands of firefighters battling all of those wildfires in California.
Near Redding, crews battling the car fire hope the worst is over. That's where we find Paul Verkaman with a closer look.
96 large wildfires burning, according to federal sources, almost all of them in the western United States, and the most deadly of them here in Redding, California, where 6 people perished. Gaining ground on the fire lines, firefighters in California continue to get a grip on more than a dozen wildfires burning out of control. In Redding, the car fire is the deadliest of the current fires and is now one of the most destructive in California history. It's charred an area that's larger than the city of Denver and burned more than 900 homes.
Lots and lots and lots of memories. Yeah, they're gone. It was like a wall of fire. It was like a train. It had a noise.
More than 3,000 personnel, including the National Guard, are assigned to the blaze, facing triple-digit heat. There's a vast swath of destruction. Waiting to return to one's beautiful homes, now just ashes, is agonizing for many residents.
It's when your head hits the pillow and you remember your home. And you remember my great-grandmother's rocking chair and the things your children made you.
Meanwhile, near Yosemite, the Ferguson fire continues to burn after 19 days of destruction, forcing officials to keep parts of Yosemite National Park closed until Sunday. And southwest of Redding, the Mendocino fire complex continues to rage out of control.
We are now facing limited resources to suppress this incident.
And it could be another tough day ahead for firefighters as they expect temperatures to rise well above 100 degrees. Reporting from Redding, California, I'm Paul Verkaman. Now back to you.
Today marks 10 months since the 1 October shooting. That means survivors or those who tried to help victims have just 2 months left to take part in the Nevada Victims of Crime program. Money from that program helps reimburse medical bills or counseling not covered by insurance. Even those outside Nevada are still encouraged to apply before the October 1st deadline. We have a link to the application at LasVegasNow.com. A public report on the 1 October shooting likely won't be ready until after the tragedy's 1-year anniversary. Nevada's top FBI official, Special Agent in Charge Aaron Rouse, said Tuesday accuracy in his agency's report is more important than speed. Special Agent Rouse also said the FBI is confident Stephen Paddock was the only shooter, that he killed himself before police arrived, and the attack did not involve a broader conspiracy. Almost 1,000 FBI agents contributed to the investigation. In earlier interviews with 8 News Now, Sheriff Joe Lombardo from Metro Police said he hoped his agency's report would be ready by the end of the month.
A local comic book artist is paying tribute to the victims of 1 October. He's publishing a book made entirely of first-hand accounts from those who were at or called to at the Route 91 Harvest Festival.
Even though most of the content in there is locally driven and about local perspectives, all of this stuff matters on a greater scale beyond Las Vegas.
J.H. Williams and his wife were out of town the weekend of October 1st. When they got back, they wanted to help, but so many of the blood drives were already full. They came up with the idea to let the survivors tell their own stories. The book is called Where We Live, and it's full of essays, drawings, and from first-hand accounts. You can buy Where We Live on Amazon, where 100% of the proceeds go to Route 91 Strong, a nonprofit which helps the victims of the shooting.
The new school year starts soon with nearly 1,000 new teachers in Clark County schools. Karen Castro spoke with some rookie teachers about the challenges they expect to face in the classroom.
Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. It's always the students first. No matter what, there has to be somebody to teach them.
Renee Tazarek is among almost 1,000 new teachers ready to hit the ground running.
It's my first year, so I'm excited to figure things out. Nervous, but excited.
She will be teaching at Vegas Verdes Elementary School, following in the footsteps of one of her teachers.
The reason I'm becoming a teacher, third grade, is because I just had the most amazing third grade teacher.
Tazarek was born and raised in Las Vegas. She's a product of the Clark County School District and graduated from UNLV. But the majority of the local teachers come from out of state.
I am excited. I can't wait to meet the kids.
Leslie Chong is new to CCSD, but she's not new to teaching.
I taught at Nane Kapona Elementary Special Education for 8 years. This will be my 9th year teaching here.
Before moving from Hawaii, Chong says she researched CCSD, and despite the many issues plaguing the school district, including large classroom sizes and budget cuts, she decided to take a chance.
There's just so much that they want the teachers to do, but somebody has to do it because I have kids of my own, and I hope and I pray that they get great teachers that are giving them as much effort as I would at home.
The majority of the CCSD teacher vacancies are for special education. Chong is taking one of the hard-to-fill positions and will begin her new job at Dickens Elementary School.
I enjoy special education, I really do. I find it very rewarding.
Karen Castro, 8 News Now.
There are still about 540 teacher vacancies at the Clark County School District. Make sure you catch our 8 News Now Back to School special. It's Saturday night at 6:30. We're taking a look at CCSD's path forward under the leadership of new Superintendent Dr. Jesus Jara.
Next, revitalizing the city's old Hunt Ridge neighborhood.
Yes, we're going to take a look at the new features going in and how developers hope to change more than just the landscape. You're watching 8 News Now. Good morning.
About our 2020 LASIK special.
You're watching the Valley's news leader with Kirsten Joyce, John Langler, Sherry Swensk, and Nate Tannenbaum. This is 8 News Now. Good day.
The Huntridge neighborhood near downtown Las Vegas has long waited for revitalization because right now it's kind of seen as a haven for the homeless.
Well, one developer hopes to change that with new retail space and new restaurants. As Orko Manor reports, the goal is to return the area to its former glory.
The sights and sounds at Huntridge Center will soon welcome some new flavors.
I have loved living here.
Betty Bueller has lived here for nearly 15 years. She says this area of downtown used to be bustling with business, but is now a hotspot for the homeless.
When the park was closed for a while, it actually felt safer. Now there are a lot of people that, you know, are struggling, and it feels a little less safe.
But with plans to build a Capriati's and a Roberto's, revitalization is on the horizon. City leaders and developers say it's part of a larger effort.
The more investment, the more nighttime lighting, the more people are around, the more everybody feels better. We need to make sure that people understand this is not a war zone.
I saw an opportunity to really help this neighborhood and this community, and so we've put a lot of time and effort and money into it, and not just renovating it.
This area where both shops will be built is right across the street from the historic but run-down Huntridge Theater. There's hope that this new wave of development will help that business as well.
I know that that is a property that I would definitely love to buy and do the same things that we've done here, there. You know, it can't sit empty forever.
The Huntridge was once the Valley's premier movie theater and hosted several concerts. It's been in disrepair since it closed in 2004. Although efforts have been made to preserve the beloved landmark, nothing has stuck.
We just wish it would be put to use again.
But with the Swoop building leading the charge, neighbors like Bueller hope the theater and this whole part of town will return to its former glory.
It'll make it all better, better and better as far as I can tell.
Orko Manor, 8 News Now.
Dapper companies expect to finish construction by December or January. Well, coming up next, the Mets make baseball headlines overnight, but not in a good way.
Oh boy, yeah. Plus, how local coaches and players are working to make high school football safer this season. You're watching 8 News Now. Good day. Thanks for watching and good morning.
The summer monsoon, the time of the year our weather takes a dangerous turn. The weather report shouldn't be just about temperatures. It's about how to stay safe. It's the most accurate weather monitoring system in the valley. Storm Tracker 8, part of your most accurate forecast.
I'm attorney Glenn Lerner. Make one call, that's all, to 877-1500, and I'll make sure you get every dollar you deserve.
877-1500.
Isn't that Greg, the Go Auto guy? Hey Greg, can you really save us money on our car insurance?
Sure, follow me. Let's go shopping. At Go Auto, you can compare rates. Call to get a quote, go online, or come into any Go Auto store. It's that easy.
Wow, you really can save us money.
I love my job.
With Senator Dean Heller, you have to follow the money. Heller took nearly $100,000 in contributions from the payday loan industry and predatory lenders, and worked for them instead of us. In Congress, Heller introduced a bill to shut down the agency that's cracking down on them. Yep, as payday lenders prey on Nevadans, he tried to keep watchdogs out of their way. Dean Heller gets the cash, we pay the price. And Citizens United is responsible for the content of this ad.
For some people, this is clean enough. But why settle for clean when it could be finished? When you want more than just clean, there's Finished. New Finish Quantum's breakthrough 3-chamber technology combines to scrub, degrease, and shine your dishes. Switch to all new Finish Quantum, because it's not clean until it's finished.
Imagine if you didn't have the tools to do your job successfully. Our school teachers face that each and every year. That's why we host the Great School Supply Drive benefiting the Clark County School District.
Drop off your supplies and donations between July 23rd and August 3rd at select Smith's locations and Silver State Schools Credit Union.
Visit LasVegasNow.com for complete details. Your help benefits our kids, our teachers, and our future.
The Great School Supply Drive, sponsored by Smith's and Silver State Schools Credit Union.
Thomas Sullivan Magnum. That's me.
Magnum, whatever you're planning, don't.
Too late for that.
Magnum. Yeah.
Bring the car back in one piece.
Welcome to the party.
Sure you want to go?
Thanks, but I'd rather not watch you get eaten by a shark today.
Wouldn't be me. They go for the white meat first.
Time to go.
Magnum PI, new CBS Mondays this fall. Murphy Brown's back with all new episodes. CBS Thursdays this fall.
You're watching 8 News Now. Good day.
Meet the Mets, greet the Mets, come on out and beat the Mets. It's been a bad year for the New York Mets. Last night, though, really bad. The Washington Nationals beat the Mets last night 25-4. At one point, the score was 19-0. They should have just called up all the 51s. Las Vegas native Bryce Harper, who is still on the Nationals, had 3 RBIs. But in reality, it's just been, if you're a Mets fan, and one of their top pitchers,
Syndergaard.
He had foot and mouth. I mean, it's just.
That's rough. That just sounds gross.
Well, and so they've been decimated by injuries, so they have been calling up a lot of the Las Vegas 51s players. That leaves the 51s to be kind of scrambling to get their act together. But it has been tough for the big club. And, of course, Harper on the Nationals
wasn't traded.
No, that was a lot of talk about him moving yesterday. He didn't, and I guess the bats got excited.
Yeah, he's like, well, if I'm staying in Washington, I may as well just, destroy the New York Mets. Let's get a couple of RBIs. Let's just run roughshod over them.
That is crazy.
25-4.
Wow, how many innings? Regular?
9.
Just 9 innings?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
I think the Mets hoped it would be like 5.
They have the mercy rule.
Yeah.
Like
do
Little
they,
League.
they don't have the mercy rule, do
No,
they, in
they
pro
don't.
ball?
No.
I think half the team just went out for popcorn and beer. Did they even show up? That's crazy. All right, happy Wednesday, everybody. We have another possible day of thunderstorm watch. Well, we'll be watching for them. Maybe we'll get some. Yesterday was pretty quiet. Atmosphere was just kind of worked over. We had a beat down the last several weeks, and I think the skies are just tired. 94. It is hot outside. The humidity's down a little bit, 24%. Dew points have fallen back into the 50s. Little less moisture out there, but still plenty of heat. 83 at Red Rock, 78 in Pahrump. Look at the 90s in Laughlin, Mesquite, Boulder City. You're both at 90 degrees. So much rain again will be across the eastern quarter of the country. Middle of the U.S. kind of quiet for now, but back into the west, some passing showers to the north of us overnight. Lincoln and Nye counties, and you can see they didn't do a whole lot to help with the wildfire situation as we check in on some of these fires. Again, highs will be in the triple digits in areas like Northern California, up around Redding, where they're fighting that big car fire. The Ferguson fire, 58,000 acres, about a 33% containment there, and look at all the air quality warnings all through the Central Valley of California. So the first place we'll look for thunderstorms will be in the mountains, but seems like Lake Mead always seems to get some outflow from nearby thunderstorms from over in Arizona, then that can trigger more storms to start up. So we'll look to the mountains first, possibly the valley, possibly Lake Mead. 108 today as we start off August. Things calm down, but we stay pretty hot through the weekend. Sunny, 107, slightly cooler next week. Alrighty, let's check in with Nate, see how things are rolling along out there.
And they are rolling. We're doing a nice job keeping up with the Project Neon closures. You again cannot get to MLK from the North 95 and the North 15. That should be lifted here in the next hour or so. And you're still getting the squeeze until they get those cones lifted up. South 15, look out from Charleston to Flamingo. North 15, it's from Spring Mountain to Oakey, and Oakey remains closed underneath the I-15. There you see the South 15 moving through, and the North 15, they're building a new bridge, and that's why Oakey is closed underneath. John, Nia?
Nate, thank you very much. It is 10 minutes to 5 o'clock, and it's also August. That means high school football is right around the corner.
So is the increased attention on head injuries in high school sports. Kevin Martin looks at how schools are focusing on safety on the gridiron.
We don't want to risk a kid's season or life, for that matter, just because we're trying to get them back on the field.
The start of high school football is less than a month away, and while practices across the valley are chock full of strength and conditioning programs, film sessions, and play calling, they are also making it a point to be as diligent as ever when it comes to safety.
Probably one of the most important things that we probably talk about, like proper way to tackle, don't lead with your head. Keep it up.
So the coaches are doing what they can, do the right drills, teach the right technique, keep everybody safe. It's headed the right direction, and people they're gonna stay safe.
We're definitely trying to be very aware of it, and if there's a chance of it, you're out. Like,
You definitely don't want to risk that because that's, as you know, like the CTE, it's a whole big deal and it's scary.
It's definitely a focus. Used to be in the old days, you get your bell rung, it was here's some smelling salts, tough it out, get back in there. But I think with all the education that's been taking place, we're very cognizant of head injuries and also teaching different ways to tackle and block to get the head out of the tackle or the head out of the contact with blocking.
Kevin E. Martin, 8 Sports Now.
All right, it is 10 minutes to 5 o'clock. Coming up at 5 here on 8 News Now, Panera has created a new type of bread bowl. Nom, nom, nom.
How much food you'll be able to put in it, that story and more coming up on 8 News Now. Good day, the Valley's news leader.
Nom, nom, nom.
The faithful have been waiting for this. A franchise quarterback and a fresh start on home turf. Ready to knock off Dallas in the preseason opener. 49ers Cowboys, August 9th on 8 News Now.
The 7-day forecast on 8 News Now is sponsored by Construction Notebook.
Don't pay full price for your favorite brands. Stop by Bulldog Liquidators today and get them for half the price. That's half off furniture, electronics, appliances, and much more. Bulldog Liquidators. All the quality, half the cost.
Senator Dean Heller has fought for veterans like me. Senator Heller, he has our back. Senator Heller passed 14 laws to help veterans. 14 laws.
He's reduced VA backlogs.
So veterans like me can get the care that we need.
And increased benefits for disabled vets.
And gave us more control over our health care.
Working to improve care at VA nursing homes.
Tell Senator Heller to keep fighting for us and to improve VA nursing homes.
Update your floors with Empire Today's $50 room sale. Buy one room, get floors for all other rooms for just $50 each. So when you buy one room, it's only $50 for laminate in the kitchen, $50 for carpet in the bedroom, and $50 for hardwood in the office. There's no limit. Buy one room and it's $50 for floors in each additional room. Schedule now.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today.
You're out and about. You're feeling good and living well. You're seizing the day every day. Patient-centered care from Southwest Medical, part of Optum Care, helps make it happen. A focus on prevention and a healthy lifestyle keep you going strong. And 370 providers in 34 locations, including convenient cares and urgent cares, means sickness or injury can't keep you down for long. So live your best, Southern Nevada, because healthy looks good on you. Find out more at SMALV.com.
Imagine experiencing this level of wow, this heightened state of car buying bliss. These feelings are not uncommon at the Honda Summer Spectacular event, where you could get a great deal on the Honda Pilot with seating for up to 8. This euphoria is only available at the Honda Summer Spectacular event. So come experience it for yourself.
We see it all the time.
Visit your local Honda dealer and test drive the Honda Pilot, named part of 2018's best SUV lineup in America.
Don't pay full price for your favorite brands. Stop by Bulldog Liquidators today and get them for half the price. That's half off furniture, electronics, appliances, and much more. Bulldog Liquidators. All the quality, half the cost.
You're watching 8 News Now. Good day.
4:55 on your Wednesday morning. Let's talk about some stuff going on this weekend in Nate on the Town. Let's start with some cool stuff called the official Star Trek Convention. It starts today, running through Sunday at the Rio. Of course, they got all the celebrity sightings. You got to check out the costume contest. And also, the pool over at the Rio is going to be showing a different Star Trek movie every night. Tickets for the convention, $50 online. The pomp and pageantry of the four-legged kinds on display at the Gala of Royal Horses. That's tomorrow and Saturday. Make that Friday and Saturday at the South Point. Tickets start at $25 for general admission. And the largest and longest-running fighting video game tournaments this weekend down at Mandalay Bay called the Evo Series. It opens Friday, championship on Sunday. You do have to buy tickets. You can do that online. And the Boulder Dam Brewery down in Boulder City hosting the Dog Days of Summer beer pong tournament. It's Saturday night at 8. It's $40 per team, but it includes a lot of beer. The grand prize, $200 for the winners, and the coveted beer pong trophy. Nia.
Thank you, Nate. A beloved lemur stolen from the Orange County Zoo is back home this morning. Police say Isaac, who is 32 years old, was stolen over the weekend from the Santa Ana Zoo. Somebody cut through a fence and opened the cages. Police say Isaac turned up inside a crate at a hotel a couple miles away. Caretakers say the lemur is doing well. And sometimes we notice twins can laugh alike, they can walk alike, even talk alike. But a pair in Michigan are taking their similarities to another level.
Nick Lewin and Cassie Bevier will get married this weekend. So will their twin siblings, Zach and Chrissy. Nick and Cassie met in college, started dating. They introduced their twins to each other and hit it off. The four say they wouldn't have it any other way.
But it all worked out.
It worked out really well. Yeah, now we're
and
here.
it's just normal. We all just, we flow together.
It just makes sense.
Right. The couples will have different ceremonies, but they're going to share the same reception Saturday night.
Well, this will make holiday gatherings a little bit easier.
Will it? I guess. I feel like it'd be kind of weird. I don't know. Like, I guess it's cool, but still strange. Hey, anyway, not like us. We are not cool and strange.